Good morning. Unity of Syracuse, New York. Yay! You know, I'm originally from New Jersey, and people from New York. Oh, yeah, New York, New Jersey, same thing. Not really, but kind of. A little bit. We got that, you know, soft inside, maybe like a little bit of a crust on the outside. Well, I do. I'm a Jersey girl. So I'm going to start with a song. I'm going to teach you the chorus. And, you know, in New Thought philosophy, we teach that there's only oneness, you know, that each one is, like, say, an extension or an expression of the source. And sometimes we say there's only one of us. So the chorus is, there is only one of us, there is only one of us, ashes to ashes and dust to dust, there is only one of us. Oh, and by the way, my name is Elaine Silver, Reverend Fairy Elaine. Okay. When I'm using my conscious mind, I am generous and I am kind. When I'm listening to my heart song, it's easy to remember that we all belong. There is only one of us. There is only one of us. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. There is only one of us. We're going to try that part. There is only one of us. There is only one. There is only one of us. Ashes to ashes. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. There is only one of us. When we know we're living in the heart of God, we're breathing with each other to the Spirit's nod. When we know that life is by means of us, we're shining and sparkling as a sweet stardust. There is only one. That's you. There is only one of us. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. There is only one of us. Namaste from me, namaste to you. I see my light when I look at you. Namaste from you, namaste to me. You're seeing your own light when you're looking at me. You got it. We're going to do it one more time with our big voices. There is only one of us. Yeah. There is only one of us. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. There is only one. There is only one. There is only one of us. And so it is. Welcome. Okay, come on up. We're going to have Nancy come. She's our platform assistant today. Let's give her a round of applause. Nancy! Well, that's how we do it.
There. All right. Tasha asked me if I had fingernails to do that. I said, no. But it worked. Thank you. We got it. That's good. Can you hear me okay? Yes. I thought so. Okay. So as you already heard, my name is Nancy Hazard, and I'm the platform assistant for this morning. And of course, it's really a pleasure to be here, serving in that capacity, especially since Elaine Silver is here. Awesome. So welcome to everybody to Unity of Syracuse. You know, unity is a positive, progressive, practical approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. So our mission statement, of course, is Unity of Syracuse inspires, awakens, and transforms lives through unlimited love, prayer, and service. Thank you. And now I'd like to warmly welcome all of those joining us today, both here in person and in spirit. We send our greetings and gratitude to all the beings that give and sustain us in our life together. Thank you for joining us on this path. Now let's rise to greet one another with a bow or a wave and remain standing for our statement of being. All right. Statement of being is, God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I'm ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. So since this is the first Sunday of the month, and you can be seated, we, of course, remember the power of the month is order. And our disciple is James the Smaller. Natasha and I went back and forth about that. We didn't want to say James the Lesser, and I didn't want to pronounce a longer name. So it truly, he's known as James the Smaller. The color of the month is olive green. The location is in the navel. And the affirmation, my life is balanced and in order. All is well. So, of course, normally the children would head downstairs to the YFM. However, we are excited to be able to say they are staying here with us so that they too can join in this wonderful service.
It's never too late to have a happy childhood.
So let's speak these words over them and all the children in our lives. May you be guided by love, justice, and compassion. Embrace your unique gifts and use them to create a more inclusive and just world. Walk boldly, knowing you are supported and empowered to make a difference. And let's affirm we have a flourishing and inspiring youth and family ministry. Thank you. So now let's prepare our hearts and minds for today's message with a reading of today's daily word. Today's word is refresh. Honoring the divine presence within, I am refreshed. Stretching and yawning after a good sleep, enjoying a brisk walk in the early morning, or sipping a replenishing drink after a workout or time in the sun, I feel refreshed. I move forward into my next activity with a renewed feeling of well-being. Building upon and refreshing my knowledge may relieve me from thinking too much about my obligations. Spending time with a good book or revisiting favorite passages from my favorite writing can give me a relaxing mental pause. I find many opportunities to refresh my awareness that God, the divine presence, is within me wherever I am, whatever I am doing. It takes only a moment to find God's presence reflected in the people and animals I encounter and in the natural beauty that surrounds me. And from Romans 15:32, so that by God's will I may come to you with joy and be refreshed in your company. And as I thought more deeply about this daily word message, I recognized I don't do a heck of a lot of that exercise stuff it mentioned in the morning. I do, however, really enjoy getting up, reading the daily word and some other passages with Ed, going outside, sitting on the patio with a nice cup of tea, and watching the beauty all around and enjoying the squirrels and the birds and even the gopher in the backyard now. So my heart just fills with all that awareness of how wonderfully we are blessed each and every moment. Okay, and so now we move to the 5 basic unity principles. Of course, unity's 5 basic principles are our guideposts, tested by experience, reminding us how divine presence unfolds through our lives. And now we open this space for anyone who would like to give a personal testimony to the power and grace of our basic principles. You can see the 5 basic principles. Hopefully you can read them up there. And Joanne, you're going to have to come up here, sweetie, because it's this microphone.
Good morning. I'm happy to share this. I'm happy to share this with a lot of people. Okay. Gosh, number 1, 2, especially 4, and even 5. Some of you have heard, I've got a dear friend down in Virginia who has been in a battle with cancer. I hate that word. But anyway, I mean, she's done really well. She's a remarkable person, very spiritual, grounded. She had a recurrence. It had gone far, but she remarkably improved a lot, found a little more, went through another month or 2 of treatment. I got a text from her yesterday. She said that she had gone to the oncologist and there is no cancer. Yay. I've been praying with prayer chaplains, Nancy, Patsy, a little prayer group. I mean, and the doctor was like, I'm shocked. I don't know what to say. I'm just so happy for her that and it's also a good story because cancer is not always the horrible thing, these days with all the cancer research. So prayer, faith. Anyway, I'm still blown away.
That is absolutely wonderful, Joanne. Thank you so much. And Barb, would you come up too? I am going to hand it to you.
So Wednesday night, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I had the most excruciating pain in my neck. I literally could not move my neck either way. I don't know what I did, but I think it would be the power in affirmative prayer, because I just thought, okay, I was thinking of all the things I had to do this week, and I just can't be, held back because of a physical ailment. And I thought, I'm not going to let that happen. So I just let myself affirm that I was perfect health and that whatever was in my neck would be healed and gone away. And lo and behold, I woke up in the morning and it was gone. I was so shocked, and I was like, this is a miracle, because I've had back issues before that have lasted months and months, and it's not fun. And that's all I said, I'm going to get rid of that vision in my head and allow myself to see myself, in perfect health. So anyways, thank you.
Okay. And now is the blessings of the prayers. As we know, unity was and is founded on prayer. And our prayer chaplain serving today is Barb Kolars. She's available to pray with you here. She was here before, and she will be here after the service to pray with you. So Barb's going to bring the box forward with the prayer requests that were placed in there today or this week. And we invite you to add yours at any time and certainly to hold them in your heart. Written prayer intentions are sealed in confidence here for 30 days. In other words, we don't look at them. Instead, we do, after the 30 days here, we mail them to Silent Unity, where they hold them in prayer for an additional 30 days. And at Unity Village, the Silent Unity service has been holding prayer vigil for over 130 continuous years. Just phenomenal and wonderful. And you can reach them by phone, day or night. Simply call 816-969-2000. A chaplain will pray with you. So at this time, we bless all prayer intentions and requests. Hold your prayer in your heart, knowing that it's already answered.
So let's just take a moment, close our eyes, and open our hearts. Take that breath in, that sacred breath. And just as we do that, we settle into that heart space. And we bring into that space all these prayer requests and intentions, and also those prayers that are still written upon our hearts. And we just know that God is present in all things, in all situations, in all conditions. God is there. And we are the hands and heart and eyes and compassion that God seeks. So let us become that vehicle of healing for all those that we encounter, whether it is a kind word, a blessing, or just being able to be present with them. And so we say, thank you, God, for your divine presence in all things. And so it is, we say, amen.
I just really need to speak into the whole prayer process that we just did in the testimonials. There's two things. Well, they're not up there anymore, but the first principle about God is good and present everywhere. And that doesn't mean around us. It means within and even as us. Each one here is made of that substance. And when we remember who and what we are made of, miracles can occur. And one of the teachings in the New Thought path that I'm following, we say, there's nothing to be healed, only something to be revealed. And that revelation often is that we are divine beings having a human experience. And, I always affirm for the highest and best, and it works. It works. So we do that affirmative prayer. We know that God is all there is. God and I are one. I am whatever the prayer is. In the now present moment, I am perfect, whole, and completely healthy. Every part of my experiences in life just flows beautifully. And then we have gratitude. We have a gratitude step, and then we release it and we let it go. And whenever I release something, I always think that or something better, because we never want to limit source. So I'm so glad that it worked out. It's working out for the two people. Okay. So today, the talk is on from breakdown to breakthrough. I'm going to do a little meditation, a little musical meditation. And it's about choice. know, I just studied the roots of the science of mind again. This is the third time I've taken the class, and, you know, every time it's different, even though it's the same curriculum. And we talked about matter. There is no matter unless we make it matter. So we're always that choice in our thinking. You know, change your thinking, change your life. So we're just going to get comfortable in our seats, take a couple of deep breaths. We're going to inhale light. We're going to exhale release. We can inhale peace. Exhale joy. This is called the universal voice, which is everywhere at all times. And it's up to us to tune into it, to listen to the guidance that comes from within, without. It comes from wherever. And it doesn't always take discipline. Sometimes we just have to trust. Even though the song says it takes discipline to listen in. That might help. We are always at choice when we tune into the universal voice. It takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. There's a universal choice. It's the love in the universal voice. But it takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. And sometimes it's a good idea to speak to one of the prayer chaplains. They can help us get clear what it is we would like and how we could manifest it. The universal voice is still and small. The universal voice answers every call. It comes from within, below, and above as the sacred sounds of love. The universal voice brings us knowing. The universal voice keeps us growing. The universal voice sets us free to roam to the universal sound of Om. The universal sound of Om. It is the universal sound of creation. And if there's something we would like to manifest, we're clear and not attached. It's the best way. And if you can punctuate your clarity with a few ohms, it could help. Belief is a powerful tool. Now let's do 3 ohms together like this. Om, Om, and again. Om. One more. We're just going to take that into the silence for a moment. We are always at choice When we tune into the universal voice, it takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. God is, I am. In this very sacred presence I know all is well. I am so grateful. I release and let it all go. God is, I am. In this very sacred presence I know all is well. I am so grateful. I release and let it all go. We are always at choice when we tune into the universal voice, but it takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. Try that with me. It takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. And one more time. It takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. Why don't you just breathe that in? Breathe in that voice that's everywhere. It's always listening to us, and we can listen to it. Okay, are we back in the room? So today is from breakdown to breakthrough. And I want to talk a little bit. And I did this program last week, and I can't find my notes, so I had to look it up, and so I have it here. So we have the definition of breakdown and breakthrough. And, there's lots of different kinds of breakdowns. Let me see, there's a mechanical failure. Breakdowns could totally disrupt production. Breakdown, malfunction, a failure, crash. We've all had those, right? Those kind of breakdowns. It could be a failure of a relationship or systems, a breakdown in military discipline. Some of these women will have experienced a marital breakdown. Well, it's not just women. It's the breakdown of a marriage, so to speak. And then there's the chemical or physical decomposition of something, the breakdown of ammonia to nitrite. So we're not really going to talk about that so much, but we're going to talk more about emotional and social breakdowns. And the idea of a breakthrough, let me see, how do I do this? Oh, yeah. Of a breakthrough. Now, we can have a breakthrough without a breakdown. Sometimes we're just like, aha, we have an aha moment, we have an awakening, and that could be considered a breakthrough. But often, a breakthrough is preceded by a breakdown, and a lot of times those breakdowns are necessary because we hit bottom, it'll just get so bad we hit bottom, and then what is there to do but kind of maybe turn it over, let go, allow what is, and see what happens. And when we do that, we often come to a new, there's an end, and for every ending, there's a new beginning. So this says, it's a sudden, dramatic, and important discovery or development. And then they had like a major breakthrough in DNA research. They probably had a lot of breakdowns trying to find DNA breakthrough. An instance of achieving success in a particular sphere or activity. Her big breakthrough came on the stage when she won a Tony Award in 1958, the band's breakthrough album. So, it's some elevation could be considered a breakthrough. That person that won the Tony Award, I'm sure it was not an instant breakthrough. I'm sure that person worked for probably decades to get there. And then we have denoting a symptomatic cause of a disease occurring despite preventative medication, vaccination, or prior infection. Okay, so maybe some of those people don't know about affirmative prayer, and so a breakthrough could actually come from that. They say denoting a symptomatic case where then they have some kind of, we say God is everywhere, right? So God is in the prayer and the pill. Sometimes we need to take the pill. Sometimes we need to have the operation. Sometimes even the vaccine, whatever works. So it's really going to be like a little concert today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how this was a breakdown and it came to be a breakthrough for me. And I woke up on New Year's Eve morning, December 31st, 2014, and I couldn't hear out of my right ear. And the hearing hasn't come back. And it really was a challenge for me. Here I am, a singer, a musician, and I can't hear out of one of my ears. And the weirdest thing about this is that when there's a noise or a sound, if it's coming from over there, it sounds like it's coming from over here. So it's very disoriented. And my poor husband, I'm like, where's my phone? I can't. But that breakdown in my hearing, it led me to kind of spiral down. And I went to there's a little church in, I think it's in Lake Worth, and it's a spiritualist church. So, they talk to dead people there, and that's fine. If people want to do that, fine. But they love my music. They're open to my music. So sometimes I sing there. And this woman, Vicki White, who's kind of a well-known psychic in Palm Beach County, she came up to me. She goes, I want to give you a reading. And I was like, okay. Now, I don't typically look for a reading. Because I know where the answers come from within. But sometimes the within could be from somebody giving me some information. But it's not something that I seek out and pay for. It's just, I feel very confident in my faith in New Thought philosophy. So I said, okay. So, she said, because when I first met you, she met me like 20 years before at Unity in the Pines, and this metaphysical center used to meet there too. So she met me there, and she said, you were like this fairy, and you were flitting around, and you had all this energy, and now you're like a downer. So I want to give you a reading. So I was like, yes, ma'am. So I think the next day, I called her, we made an appointment. It was a phone reading. And I kept interrupting because I had questions. I wasn't a very good subject of a reading. But she said one thing. She said, your guides want you to listen to them. So it's that thing about listening. So I'm like, okay, I'll listen to my guides. And then I sat down, and this song came out. And actually, the third line in the song is the breakthrough for me. And I got it from Byron Katie, Loving What Is. So it's called Love and Light to You, and that line, Love and Light to You, comes up a lot of times in the song. So that'll be your part. Life is happening in the moment. Love and light to you. That was your part. Know that all is as it should be. Love and light to you. And I'm going to do that first verse again. Make sure you listen to the third line. Life is happening in the moment. Love and light to you. Here it comes. Know that all is as it should be. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. Love and light is true. Love and light is true. Love and light to you. 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 Now I enter into stillness. Yeah, you got it. From the center comes the goodness. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. Love and light is true. Love and light is true. Love and light to you. 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 See all of creation moving transformation. Love and light is true. Love This insight is true. Love and light to you. It's about the journey, not the destination. It's about the joy and the celebration. Yes! Love and light to you. Love and light is true. Love and light is true. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. See all of creation move into transformation. Love and light is true. Love and light to you. Feel the inspiration. Move into co-creation. This insight is true. Love and light to you. Life is happening in the moment. Here we go. Know that all is as it should be. Love and light to you. Love and light to you. Love and light is true. Love and light is true. Love and light to you. 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 Beautiful job, everybody. All right, so we're a little out of order here. Hang on a second. So the thing about setting an intention and allowing it, or getting to the place where we just let go. We have to turn it over, right? How many people have been in a place where you just, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to hand it over. I'm going to turn it over to Spirit, and you figure it out. And a lot of times when we let go and allow what is, the answers come because we're not pushing against something that we don't want. And that's all suffering. All suffering is wanting it to be other than how it is. Have you thought about that? Whenever you want it to be different from how it is, you're suffering. Typically. I mean, I can't think of an example. I remember thinking when I was doing a lot of work on myself in my 20s, and sometimes, well, I don't want to do that. I'm not willing. So then I decided, well, I'm going to be willing to do something I don't want to do. And it was like such a great, that was an epiphany. That was a little breakthrough. Well, just because I don't want to doesn't mean I won't. So I was willing to do what I didn't want to do. It was good. I'm still talking about it. So that was a letting go of my will, and to just, okay, well, I'll do it. And so this one is called I Let God. So sometimes when we want to turn it over, we do that first. We let God, and then that makes it easy to let it go, right? Anybody experience that? We let God, then we can let go. We always say let it go, let go and let God. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. So this is about that. And it's about that step in affirmative prayer of you release it and you let it go. Now, when I let it go, I like to think of that or something better, something I'm working on. And then there's always the revealing of healing. Healing is the revealing of what? God is all there is. And so it goes like this. Your part goes, let's see. I let God, then I let go, releasing into source. Let's try that part. I let God, then I let go, releasing into source. Here's the second part. When I let go and I let God, I'm on a sacred course. Let's try that. When I let go and I let God, I'm on a sacred course. And we're going to do the whole chorus. I let God, then I let go. I let God, then I let go, releasing into source. When I let go, when I let go and I let God, I'm on a sacred course. I get out of the way as I open up to to this or something more. I get out of the way as I allow the flow to enter my front door. I let God, then I let go, releasing into source. When I let go and I let God, I'm on a sacred course. There is power in the presence and the oneness of us all. There's the truth and there's the essence that answers every call. There's that universal voice again. I let God, then I let go, releasing into source. When I let go and I let God, I'm on a sacred course. I release my word to spirit and to universal law. I release my word to this energy as I'm held in sacred awe. I let God, then I let go, releasing into source. When I let go and I let God, I'm on a sacred course. I let God, then I let go. I let go. I let go and I let God. I let God, then I let go. I let go, then I let God. I let God, then I let go. Good job, everybody. Really good. So I'm going to move on. Now, this didn't happen to me. This wasn't my breakthrough, but it's a very famous breakthrough that I wanted to share with you because I think it's so perfect for this idea. So it's the story behind the hymn of Amazing Grace. You know that song, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound? Hold on, I just got to take the cough drop. Written almost 2.5 centuries ago in 1772, the words for the beloved song were born from the heart, mind, and experiences of the Englishman John Newton. Knowing the story of John Newton's life as a slave trader and the journey he went through before writing the hymn will help to understand the depth of his words, and the gratefulness for God's truly amazing grace. Having lived through a rather unfortunate and troubled childhood, his mother passed away when he was just 6 years old. Newton spent years fighting against authority, going so far as trying to desert the Royal Navy in his 20s. Sounds like something I would do. Later, abandoned by his crew in West Africa, he was forced to be a servant to a slave trader, but was eventually rescued. So he got to kind of be a slave himself. On the return voyage to England, a violent storm hit and almost sank the ship, prompting Newton to begin his spiritual conversion as he cried out to God to save them from the storm. Upon his return, however, Newton became a slave ship master. Did you guys know that? A profession in which he served for several years, bringing slaves from Africa to England over multiple trips, and he even admitted to sometimes treating the slaves abhorrently. These people, wow. In 1754, after becoming violently ill on a sea voyage, see, that sea could be powerful. Violently ill on a sea voyage, Newton abandoned his life as a slave trader, the slave trade, and seafaring altogether, wholeheartedly devoting his life to God's service. So he was ordained as an Anglican priest in 1764 and became quite popular as a preacher and hymn writer, penning around almost 300 hymns, among them the great Amazing Grace. And it was later set to the popular tune New Britain in 1835 by William Walker. Now this is a really important thing here. In later years, Newton fought alongside William Wilberforce, leader of the parliamentary campaign to abolish the African slave trade. He described the horrors of the slave trade in in a tract he wrote supporting the campaign and lived to see the British passage of the Slave Trade Act in 1807. So his behavior really was abhorrent. So when he sings Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me, he was really feeling that abhorrentness that he displayed to these people. We're going to sing a few verses, and I know most of you know this, right? You know Amazing Grace? We're going to do the original word. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. We're going to do the first verse again, everybody. Come on. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Beautiful job. Give yourself a hand. Hey. Come on, you could do better than that. Give yourself the big hand. You did great. I have a couple more songs. So when COVID hit, they closed the YMCA, and I couldn't go to aerobics classes or Pilates reformer classes anymore. And so my husband got my bicycle out of the shed, and I had ridden it maybe 5 times in the past 20 years, but I used to take it on the road with me. That was my exercise. And so I would ride it every day, and I would ride through the park, and I didn't wear a mask. It wasn't as strict in Florida. I live in Sarasota, but it wasn't as strict, but a lot of people had masks. But I would be like, good morning. I'm on the bike. Good morning. Oh, what a cute dog. Oh, ding-a-ling. And so they all saw me, and they heard me, and I was seen and heard, and that's what a lot of people missed being in lockdown. So I was riding on the levee one day. We have a levee in Sarasota. And usually there was nobody up there when I would take that route. I would ride for an hour each morning. And this one day, I saw some people up ahead, and I had the thought. Now, I'm going to explain where this thought came from, but I was shocked when I heard myself thinking. I thought, well, if they mug me, they'll get my cell phone and $20, right? So I'm like, what? I thought that? I didn't just think, well, then I'm like, cancel. Because that's what's known as race consciousness. It's something that we're born into. And it means the human race. Like we're born into the idea of, oh, well, my mother had this whatever condition, and that means I have a high chance to get. It doesn't mean that. Principle is not bound by precedent. Just because it always happened before, we can always have a new beginning. Because if we know how to tap into that source energy, and the universe always says yes to the way we're vibrating and feeling and thinking, then we can actually cause shifts. We can cause changes in our conscious thinking, and change your thinking, change your life. So anyway, I'm like going, cancel. Oh. And so I got up to them and I noticed that it was a couple and he was walking a few steps ahead of her, and I think they had been arguing, and maybe that's where I picked up the negativity. I don't know, but of course it wasn't me. And so I said, in my usual, I'm like, good morning. And it was as if I wasn't even there. So, the Jersey girl, I'm riding around, I go, what am I, invisible? I don't know if they heard me or not, it doesn't matter. But as soon as I said that, this song came, so I had a little breakthrough. I had something that didn't feel good to me, and I broke through, and it's called An Invisible Woman. And here's the chorus, it goes like this. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. And I got superpowers. Try that with me. Here we go. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. And I got superpowers. My power is my consciousness. My power is my happiness. My power is my gratefulness. My power is my gracefulness. My power is my mindfulness. My power is my joyfulness. My power is my peacefulness. Flowing in and out of bliss. You ready? I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I got superpowers. And those superpowers that I sing about are just the aspects of God that I know I am, and each one here is. You claim it. You know what they say, you got it, flaunt it. I share and the grace I show brings me to that sacred flow. I know how to shift and grow, and I'm an empowered woman. Life is full of challenges, and life is a game that can be played, turning lemons to lemonade. I'm an empowered woman. The power is at our command. My power is my consciousness. My power is my happiness. My power is my gratefulness. My power is my gracefulness. My power is my mindfulness. My power is my joyfulness. My power is my peacefulness. Flowing in and out of bliss. Here we go. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I got superpowers. I got superpowers. I got superpowers. All right. You feel that, It's nice when people point it out to you, but you claim it, And the universe says yes. It always says yes to what we're thinking, feeling, and vibrating, especially how we vibrate. So if you want to feel graceful, if you want to feel grateful, you just do that. If you want to be those things, just be it. And we can pray for it too. We can affirm it. See, we don't pray like, please, please, please. We pray like, thank you, thank you, thank you for my gifts. Okay, so this song, this one I wrote this past winter, and it was really sad for me. It was so sad because a really, really good friend of mine that I have known for decades, really, a few decades, decided he didn't want to be my friend anymore. And went through some. I'm just hoping that it's a phase, right? But he said something to me like, "Well, I just don't like the way I feel when I'm around you. It feels like makes my skin crawl." And I'm thinking like, "Oh, really? Well, I always felt so safe, to be myself and to express myself." And I'm thinking, "Oh, I make your skin crawl? Well, it sounds like a personal problem," But he wasn't having it. And this person does what I do and travels and fills in for ministers. I don't know any New Thought ministers that doesn't agree with this. The song is called Because, but it really should be called the last line of the chorus. But I don't want to give it away in the title, So, being a religious science practitioner, it's like we constantly pull away the layers of the onion and look at, that we are the cause. We are the cause. And if it involves somebody else and keeps happening, then we have to just do some more work, right? So it goes like this. It's called Because. When you witness something that makes your skin crawl, or when you're hearing something that makes you wanna bawl, when you might have a feeling that brings on some fear, that's when the choices appear. That's when an answer is near. Because we are each at cause, because of immutable laws. Because be the cause what I know to be true. Here's the punchline. True. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. Not everybody buys it, but it will make your life work. Life is a mirror. And so then I'm thinking, okay, so here I'm like, when you witness, when you. Well, you is I, right? Second verse. When I witness something that makes my skin crawl, or when I'm hearing something that makes me wanna bawl, when I might have a feeling that brings on some fear, that's when the choices appear. Remember the whole thing about choice and listening? That's when an answer is near. Because we are each at cause, because of immutable law. Because be the cause what I know to be true. What we're looking at, we're looking through. You could sing that with me if you want. What we're looking at, we're looking through. We can take responsibility for what we attract. It may not be so easy to change how we react. It's work to take a moral inventory. When I point at you, it comes back to me. Just like the boomerang that love appears to be, or the echo of negative emotionality. Here we go. You can sing with me. Because we are each at cause. Because immutable laws of immutable laws. Yeah, those immutable laws of the universe. Yeah. Because be the cause what I know to be true. Here we go. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. And again. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. Got one more. And it's okay to go a little longer. I know it's, well, that's what we're doing. So I have to do the song Breakthrough for you. When I was in Sarasota, well, that's where I live, but I was there during the pandemic, and Unity in Sarasota would only allow like 10 people, the same 10 people in the building, and they would have the church services, and they would have the Wednesday night meditation, and music and inspiration, she called it. And so it was between me and another musician. So every Wednesday, I had to come up with songs because the whole service was built around whatever the daily word was for that day. So I think I have 3 volumes of a program called The Daily Word Through Song, because I've written so many songs that were inspired by the daily word. And one of them was the word breakthrough. And I wrote this song, and then it was like, oh, I could do a whole program from breakdown to breakthrough. So, it's just great. And so let's see, where are we here now? Okay. Some of you, I think a few of you here know that I used to be married to an oldies DJ long time ago. And as a result of that, I've somehow embodied the doo-wop sound. Do-do-do-do-do-do. There was a breakdown in my expectations with a face frown. I was feeling desperation, looking for that shiny pearl. Then I found my inner world, deep inside and through. As I entered sacred space and feeling centered in this place, there was a breakthrough, revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. There was a breakthrough, come on, a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There was a breakdown, everything went wrong, and with a face frown, I began to write this song, looking for that shiny pearl. And then I found my inner world, deep inside and through. As I entered sacred space and feeling centered in this place, you know your part? There was a revealing what is true, a sacred. I got a new point of view. There was a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There's some confusion, this seeming limitation. It's just an illusion, this sense of separation. We're always changing and growing into life's a rearranging metaphor. It it took a shakedown to bring me back to me. This latest breakdown has really set me free, 'cause I found my inner world. I'm a radiating, shining pearl, deep within and through and through. And as I enter sacred space and feeling centered in this place, I found a revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. There was a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There was a breakthrough, knowing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. I am a breakthrough, and you are too. Breaking through and through, breaking through and through, breaking through and through. All right, Nancy, come on back. Thank you, everybody. What a wonderful group.
Such a gift. Thank you so much.
Can I come back every week? Oh, I can't.
All right. And we all have had a sacred breakthrough by recognizing that giving and receiving are one and the same.
Law of circulation.
That's right. So, of course, Unity in Syracuse encourages you to visit our website at unitysyracuse.org and sign up for electronic giving. Really is a wonderful way to share our blessings. And so now we pause and reflect on the abundance of blessings that have freely been given to us. May these offerings, given from the heart, filled with gratitude and compassion, be a testament to our commitment to love and transformation in our faith, in our community, and the wider world. May they be multiplied and lifted as we use our good to create a more harmonious world. So you may want to hold your offering in your hand. Together we affirm, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, God. You are my source.
And we're going to sing, God is my source, all my needs are met, and I'm grateful, like this. God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful. Let's try that together. God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful. And again, God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. One more. I am grateful. Okay, good job, everybody. Easy.
Okay, and Natasha's going to make the announcements for us. And while she's coming up, I'm going to remind you, please, prayer chaplain Barb today will be here at the front of the sanctuary to hold space for prayer. And let's keep that sacred space. Enjoy each other's companies downstairs for fellowship.
Yes, first and foremost, big thanks to Elaine Silver here. Absolutely. So she will be back around the 1 o'clock hour, yes, for the Beatleology, spirituality, and the Beatles. ELAINE is a certified beetleologist and, of course, an award-winning performer. Yes. So based on a lifelong study of the transforming power of their music, so singing and sharing their history. So please join us for that. There is a meal offering downstairs of sandwiches and such, so we'll enjoy each other's fellowship and then highly encourage you to come back for that. I'm going to keep this very, very brief. I did go this weekend and did some volunteer work, and the person who was running the show, it's all volunteer-based. It's a mission outreach program, and he said that mission and outreach works. First, you have to show up, and then you have to look up. We know here at Unity that we actually look within, so I say you have to show up and likely give up something that you was already thought you was going to do and show up for some service work. So downstairs by the bathroom is our in-reach and outreach programs that are currently going on. Please sign up. It only works if you show up, and maybe you have to give up something to show up to these events. But that's how we build community, and that's how we push our mission forward in our hearts, our community. So in-reach outreach on the bulletin board by the bathrooms, and then down the hallway is where the classes are. So all the classes that are being offered, all the workshops that are coming up in September and October are all there. Sign up, show up, and let's meet together, okay? All right. And then don't forget that the prayer chaplains do have a survey out. So if you don't want to do it electronically, get a paper in the back and fill it out here in the sanctuary. All right? Okay, let's prepare for some food.
Thanks, Tasha. Okay, so let's go forth with our prayer for protection. Can you all stand up, please? Join me. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, we ready? Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our parent, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, my joy is found. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Beautiful. I'll see you all downstairs. Yay.